Hey warriors, long time no speak. I've been a little bit AWOL. More to the point, just because I've been a bit busy really. Work have been absolutely crazy. Um, with the fallout of the COVID-19 for all my clients for the financial reasons. So not a lot of change for me really, apart from the colour of my hair. I dipped the ends of it in purple tissue paper dye. I just put in water, and this was like my little COVID-19 meltdown. But apart from that, there's not been a lot of changes going on here. The one thing is that I will say I've been really busy, um, which is good and bad in equal measures, if I'm honest. Um, I think it's really good for me for my mental health. Being at home doing nothing makes my anxiety a million times worse. So the busier I am, the better it is. But the other side of it has been really overwhelming. Um, I've cried more the last couple of weeks than I've cried outside of crying for crap on the telly. Um, in a long time, where it was just overwhelming for me, where so many clients are, you're trying to deal with people all at the same time, and before I could kind of compartmentalize things, whereas I don't do that as well. So everything is something to do, which is another thing on my to-do list, which gets a bit overwhelming. So again, that comes back to the HR, the menopause and the anxiety. So yeah, so that have been the downside of it, that it's been a bit overwhelming. And talking about crying, do you know what? This is how bad things are on the menopause. I actually cried at an episode of Australia's MasterChef on Sunday. And then after I was crying, I was thinking that is just seriously something wrong with you, Sammy. That is just beyond. Um, but yeah, so not a lot of change for me really. I just hope my business succeeds this. I'm in the same place as everybody else. So I'm keeping everything crossed. That my clients are able to hang it out, and I'm able to hang it out really. Otherwise you might find me in a supermarket near you. But let's just hope things are going to go good and we'll be back to some normality soon. Now let's get on to this menopause. Well, nothing's changed, and I haven't done this vlog because all I do is bloody moan, innit? Moan, 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 moan. But the truth of it is, terrifyingly, I have only got 2 weeks left of my HRT that I was taking the last duo, and I cannot find it anywhere now, like literally anywhere. So I'm gonna have to change my product. To do that, I need to speak to my GP. Trying to speak to my GP is like trying to find rocking horse poo. So I'm hoping I can do that in the next week, because I need to get some product, because the thought of not having anything is making my anxiety considerably worse. But really, things have not been great really for me. Periods completely erratic. I've had two within the last 16 days, so they're kind of erratic and up and down. They've changed as well. I've noticed my periods have really changed from when they were normal, she says, um, to since I've been on the menopause. The consistency and how they are have changed. And also, I get real bad period pains and bellyache, and like ache at the top of my legs and my back, which I didn't get um, at all on my period. So this is just a menopausal thing that decided to just swipe me in the ass like everything else. Um, I've got terrible sore boobs. They're just like, honestly, it would be sat down. It feels like somebody's pricking your nipple, like as if we haven't got enough on our plate. Um, my migraines have just been awful. Um, I'm probably having between 8 or 10 clear days a month now, actually, whereas I was only having migraines for 8 to 10 days up until a couple of months ago. So the migraines have just been awful, and trying to work when you have a migraine is just really frustrating, as I keep saying. So that's a bit dire, really, and I really would like that to change again, because if I could change anything, the anxiety is number one, but that is like a close call with number two. Um, I just want to say about getting itchy skin as well, because a few people have asked me about this. But I get it. Itchy scalp is the worst thing for me, my scalp and my feet. But yeah, quite often I get itchy skin and aching joints. That's another randomer. I go to bed fit as a flea. Well, as fit as this flea is ever going to be. Don't sleep awkward, can tell that, wake up, go to move, and I feel like I'm 93, and like my hip joint is like squeaking somewhere, or my knee joint is squeaking somewhere. So, yeah, that's another addition to add to the rest of the menopausal symptoms. Um, I gotta say as well, I'm cold all the time. Now, my husband just thinks that something happened to me in moving from this house because in the other house, I was atomic. Like, we had the air conditioning unit on the bedroom daily. I've moved to this house, I'm freezing. I've got everybody sweating out. And I'm looking at them like they're lunatics. And they're just looking at me going, no, you are the lunatic. I'm just freezing all the time. Um, just freezing. Like I said to you before, somebody said to me it was anxiety based, which it could be right because the move for this, as I said to you before, for me was just um, a big ball of anxiety anyway. And then obviously with everything that's going on with this COVID-19, I don't get no government grants, so that's been a bit stressful. I'm very fortunate that my husband can carry the load for us, but all the same, the thought of not being able to work or anything up to my business is just scary. So I moved house, we've had all of this, so I don't know whether that's kind of helping the cause, but I am just freezing and my fleshes have changed. So whereas before they used to come from my feet right the way up, they don't do that. All of a sudden, I just feel like a pink pig and my face just goes bright red and I look like a little tomato. So I'm still having the fleshes, but they're just coming in different kind of waves. Um, but I think the most thing for me, which I keep talking about, is the anxiety. Um, because I struggle with that on a daily basis. And it's been quite crippling, I think, of late because I was so overwhelmed with work that everything kind of gets on top of you. Uh, and you know what is ironic? That when I first started doing this vlog, this wonderful lady in Canada was messaging me. Um, and she said to me at the time, and I remember it, she said, I wish you well on your journey, etc. And she said, but I very rarely have good days, and when I do, I remember them because I have so many bad. And I remember messages saying, "Oh my God, that must be awful. And I hope things get better." But it's really grim actually, because when I kind of sit back and take stock of that, that's a bit like me actually now, and intentionally between my anxiety and my migraines. Yet if I have a good day, it's a bonus because I don't have lots of days where I am not consumed with anxiety, or I have, one or two or more migraines. So I can kind of relate to that now, and that to me seemed like worlds away a year ago. So that kind of gave me a reality check on how my symptoms have maybe progressed. But as sad as this is, there is part of me that thinks when my period's erratic and all this is happening means that I'm hoping it's going to be over soon. And no, I don't think it is because women have given me different things. But there's that tiny little bit that just goes, please, just be erratic for you to go because I don't care about having a year of erratic if you just bugger off and leave me alone. So there's part of me in some psychotic way is hoping that all of this is adding up, that it's going to go and leave me alone and go back to the menopausal island that I came from because I'm kind of fed up with it now, actually. Um, the other thing I want to say to you ladies is at the moment, I think we're all probably feeling more anxious than ever with everything that's going on. I think uncertainty is not good for us. I think when you deal with anxiety, you need to know things a bit more clearly. So I think what's going on is not helping us. And our Prime Minister's speech yesterday was just appalling, really. This is why I don't watch the news. I watched his first speech. I didn't even watch his second speech. I knew it was appalling from social media. Um, but I mean, we just don't help a situation where when people are already anxious, there's a lot of mental health issues going on at the moment with people being stuck at home. People need some clarity and guidance, and I just don't think that really particularly happens. Um, but what I would say to you ladies is I've kind of kept myself sane by keeping off social media. That for me is just a world of negativity. Um, and I just cannot engage in it. I just find the majority of posts are negative, or that there's just so much going on. I'm seeing people who were relatively healthy people posting things which makes me think that they're having a bit of a tough time. It's not a great platform, I think, and I'm sounding really old now, but I think sometimes that's where social media can get a little bit out of control. So God, I'm starting to sound like my mother. So I come off social media, and I don't watch the news. That's the second thing, as I just said. I don't watch the news. I don't engage in it. You know, as I've said, my husband's a head teacher, so he has information before other people because obviously he's party to things. Not interested. When my son had a conversation today, I walked out the kitchen. I have no interest in knowing. Just think, keep me in my little bubble and I can deal with it. I'm doing this. Because if I can pretend it's not going on, then it's just not going on. And it's just the way that I'm able to personally deal with it. The one thing I will say is really, though, that I have recognised in myself, which I really am going to make a conscious effort to try and change, is that sadly, my life haven't really changed on lockdown. And it's a real grim state of affairs, really, to recognise that. Um, when people are saying, oh, you know, I'm bored and I'm not going out and this, and I just kind of thought, well, actually, nothing have changed for me apart from the fact that I have my husband and son working from home. Um, the sad fact is, I really went to the chiropractor once a week for half an hour, and I've probably only done that for the last few years and haven't really done anything else. I think anxiety is so crippling at times that it kind of overcomes you, and you don't do as much. And I think then when you lose enjoyment of something and your anxiety kicks in, it stops you from doing anything else. So it's made me realise actually that I haven't really even been living properly for the last couple of years. I think the anxiety and everything that have been taken over from the menopause have really overtook me. So that is something I'm going to really make a conscious effort to change. As I say, rip the band-aid off. And it's something that I still do every day. I had to do it this morning. I got up this morning and I had, where I'd been so busy for the last, 10, 12 weeks. It's been exhausting. And today, um, I had hospital appointments for things as well. But today, as I kind of got up and I went to check my emails, I had to really, really give myself a prep talk and just rip the band-aid off. You've got to get to them. Just get to them sooner rather than later. But that is something that I deal with, and that's how I deal with things, and that's how I get myself in the office. And I said to a friend of mine actually today who's been off work with anxiety that and it's easy for me to say to someone else, but it's really difficult to put in practice if I'm honest. But once you rip that band-aid off and you take the first step, it does get better. Um, so I think that I've got to remind myself that because I want to start getting out more, even if it's just a walk with some music, to have some chill time. I just really need to get out more. And I just think that a lot of women are like me, that we turn into these hermits that, don't want to be moaning to people all the time and, don't want to be kind of letting people really understand how we're feeling. And then I think we kind of introvert ourselves. So I think that's something I've really recognised that I will change. Um, Outside of that, like I said, moan, 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 moan. Menopausal moan. That's all I seem to bloody do is moan. Um, I am hoping that I can get some HRT. I think with how I've just described my symptoms to you, it's maybe not a bad thing that I may change my product because I don't know whether that it's really doing a lot for me at the moment. So maybe it's time for me to get some change, although I'm so terrified because products I've changed to before may be really poorly. So sometimes the lesser of two evils, but I think I've got no choice. So as I get change this product, I'll keep you all updated on what's going on this wonderful roller coaster we call life. And I just want to say, ladies, if you're feeling low, if you're having really bad days, please reach out to people. Please don't keep it in. I know it's really difficult because you just think that you're moaning or you think you're complaining and there's so much going on at the moment, but what you're going through is real. So don't internalize that. I think talking about something, even if you're not asking for answers, just talking about something is quite cathartic. And I think offloading something makes you feel a bit better. So please, please, please make sure you talk to each other because I just think that is the way forward for our mental health and to keep these lines of communication open. And I just think other women come forward. The more that we talk about things, the more what other women kinds of volunteer information to, and you'll be surprised what other people are going through. I hope you're all keeping as well as possible. It's a real trying, uncertain time for us all. but I'm sending you all love and light. And we will all get through this together. This is another little stone in the road for us to get over. And we will get over it. Just may take some time, but we will get over it. I hope you're all well, ladies. Please, please, please keep safe. Please look after your yourselves. And more importantly, please, please, please be kind to yourself, because you have to be kind to yourself, because if you can't be kind to yourself, no one else can be kind to you. I'm sending you love and light. Peace out.